Hi everybody, John with you. Just came back from kind of a little vacay, so haven't done a video in a while, but let's look some more at the Hawaiian records. We're in the letter S, and let's continue on with our endless journey into Hawaiian vinyl. First up, this is a group called Steve and Teresa, just a duo, Steve Mai and Teresa Bright. And they just did the two vinyls here that I have. Quite a big hit. They have a really nice sound to them. Her voice in particular, I think really is absolutely one of my favorite voices really in Hawaiian recording period. I love her voice. They did these two albums. That one's Catching a Wave. This one is called Ocean Blue. And then they had big hits. Meliana A here in the islands was quite popular for them. Rum and Coca-Cola. Let's see. Is there a date on this one? I think this is 1983. And then they did go into the CD era. They had a cassette. They had one, I think, that came out. And then they split up. I don't really know the story behind it, but they went their separate ways. Steve Mai basically did one cassette or something, I think, and that was it. Teresa has had a very successful solo career. She is, even today in 2015, she's still recording and still a presence, and you can see her performing here. She has an amazing voice, just beautiful. Jazz kind of influenced. This artist here, I have a lot of records by him, so we're going to kind of just go through them today, but very interesting story. The name is Wout Steenhuis, and the group is the Kon-Tikis. Now, I grew up collecting these records, and I never had heard of this artist, never. It wasn't until maybe about 10 years ago, somebody was selling a whole bunch of record albums online in like a private listing, and there was a couple things by this artist Wout Steenhuis, so I'd never heard of. So I just got one, and which actually was this one, and it was amazing. It's a double LP set. He is actually a Dutch from Holland originally, and then lived and recorded professionally in England for many years, and plays all sorts of stringed instruments, including the steel guitar. And so I got all of his steel guitar albums. I had to just start getting everything as soon as I heard the first one, because he is fantastic. His playing was so amazing and beautiful. I am going to give you some samples of it here, because it's just absolutely kind of blows my mind how good this guy is. And it's interesting that I never ever had heard of him, and he's recorded many albums in England. They're all recorded in England, and apparently for whatever reason none of his stuff was picked up by any of the American labels, because sometimes they would be, like the Waikikis out of Belgium, the Waikiki Beach Boys out of England were picked up on American labels, and a lot of their material was re-released. But that's not the case with Wout Steenhuis, and I don't know why, because he's mega fantastic. I have to show you this one. You'll see his picture was used sometimes on the cover. Is actually kind of a nice looking guy for a musician, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, but I love this picture because, okay, look at all these little, these Polynesian maidens or whatever surrounding Wout Steenhuis, and everything looks fine, at first glance, but then when you actually look at it, you're like, wait a minute, those aren't sarongs. Aren't those like plush bath towels? I mean, aren't they? That's what they look like. I think that's kind of funny. I also love Wout because he wrote a lot of music, so a lot of these record albums have original compositions by him. under his name, Steenhuis, and also under Jelmer. I understand he used that name when composing, sometimes too. So I'm going to play a little bit of something from actually from this first album called Leona. Just give you a little sample, because his playing, I just love it. And this song, Leona, you know, you come across a song once in a while that just stands out in your mind and becomes one of your big favorites that you play over and over and over again, and this is one of those for me. Leona by Wout Steenhuis. I just love it. Continuing on, this one, Bird of Paradise. Nice cover there on this one. Again, plenty of original stuff and interesting songs not always heard. This one I actually picked up here in Hawaii at a Goodwill or Salvation Army or someplace. Yeah, Goodwill it was, for like whatever, $1.99 or something. I don't know how this one ended up over here, but this one is 1974. They're all 1960s, 1970s records. He did pass away, I read, not too long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, something. This is an interesting one. Wout Steenhuis presents Hammond in Hawaii. It's his steel guitar playing along with an Hammond organ player, kind of a little jazzy organ player. So this is kind of a fun, Leon Young on the organ. This is a fun record. I just love his stuff. He's such great playing. Okay, this one we got to hear a short sample from too. Pacific Paradise, very unusual record. Here we see him with actually members of the Kon-Tiki band. They look to be all Dutch and Indonesian people, not surprisingly. And this one is interesting because it's inspired by the music of Indonesia, and like a couple of the songs use like a gamelan. Are you familiar with the gamelan? They don't use the gamelan, but they use like a gamelan tuning or the gamelan type of music arrangements or whatever. Play you a little sample from a song from this album to give you an idea, because it's trippy, and I really, really also love this album. So interesting. Pacific Paradise. Here we have the album Blue Hawaii. Of course, he did a Hawaiian country album with country songs. I'm not the biggest fan of this record, but you know, his style is is Hawaiian, so it does sound a little more Hawaiian rather than country. Here he is a little bit older. This album was I don't see the date on here, but it's a little bit later. That's a fetching cover, right? Very English, I think. English 1960s. Hi, Hawaii. He wrote about half the songs on this record here. Yeah, if you ever see anything by him and you want really cool steel guitar playing, this is the guy. Wout Steenhuis, Paradise Island. This is the last one of his that I have. Another picture of him there again. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there today. But again, you know, if you ever are looking for a steel guitar player, something interesting or unusual, Wout Steenhuis, if you ever see his stuff anywhere, I highly recommend it. Loved that guy. Fantastic music. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, because I'll be doing a series of them going through the collection. So, and if you like this kind of music, I do have an online hobby station called Hawaiian Hi-Fi on live365.com. It just plays music 24/7 from the Hawaiian record collection, and I'll put the link below. So have a good day. I'm gonna go grocery shopping because there's no food in the house. So yeah, have a good one. I'm